tonight.
Sanchez is leading the team out onto the field.
Christopher Sanchez takes the mound as the red-hot Phils
Line drive into left field.
welcome the Toronto Blue Jays to town.
Let's keep on winning like Charlie Sheen.
The 0-2. He struck him out. Plus a look back to when these two teams met in the 1993 Fall Classic.
And he hits one deep to right. Forget about it.
Get ready, Philly, because
It's time to get fantastic!
From Fox 29 News, this is the Phantastic Sports Show.
another Phils win, another Phils dominant win. Ho-hum, just another
day at the office.
It's almost like we're spoiled. We expect it at this point.
I know, but ride the wave, and as long as it's good, feel good. Who were the Sixers?
I don't even remember.
I forgot about them. Who were the
Flyers? I don't know.
Didn't win the draft lottery tonight. And great job editing that open, because we mentioned the '93 World Series.
Did you edit it?
No, because we left out a guy named Joe Carter.
Yeah, we don't want it. We're not talking about Joe Carter
tonight.
tonight.
Show for the evening.
Not even. We're going to try not even talk about Mitch tonight.
So let's say we tee it up as we get ready for what's on deck this evening on the Phantastic Sports Show. Jason Martinez.
Phillies 7 straight. They can't lose at Citizens Bank Park, but they did lose at the Vet a few times back in the day.
Where was that place? Across the street, but man, it had memories.
And
a
character.
You had stories. And Michael Phillips, who is with us tonight,
we call him Grizz.
He is fired up, and he has vet stories. And we're going to take a little stroll down memory lane when we come back.
Yep. And first 215-915-PHAN. You know, Mike, or Grizz as we're going to call him, he's co-hosting because he sent us fan cams constantly. That could be you. Just send us videos with your thoughts on Philly sports, and you could host with us as well. 215-915-7426. That's fan. You know, PHAN.
Oh, that's what it is.
We're back after this.
And a high fly ball to deep right field. Springer's going back toward the wall. It is gone! Grand slam, Bryce Harper!
You know what the beauty is? Jason Martinez, one swing, 4 RBIs. Cody Clemens had 4 RBIs tonight, 3 straight games. The Bryce Harper guy is officially hot. And as we tee it up here on the Phantastic Sports Show, what is not to like right now about Bryce Harper and the way he's swinging about? But you know what I love? I love the way the guys are in the dugout after a big moment. It doesn't matter if it's Clemens. It doesn't matter if it's Harper. It doesn't matter if it's Castellanos who's starting to swing. There is an infectious attitude inside that
everything's
dugout.
working out. Harper's home run, 366 feet, and it was 365 over the fence. That's how things are going for this Phil's team right now.
And they did it tonight against a pretty good pitcher in Jose Barrios. Here's Rob Thompson after the game.
We had good at-bats all night. You know, we put 90 pitches on one of the best pitchers in baseball in 3 2/3 innings. That's some production, just that.
And now with that,
the Grizz is in the house.
We get welcome in.
Wow,
Grizz official.
this is just amazing. I'm finally on TV in my hometown.
Look at this. But you've earned it. You've earned it.
It's been, what, 30, 40 years of Philly sports loving in your life, and now here you are.
You know, it's been an amazing run here. I mean...
You were a beer man at
Yes. You know, the energy I bought at Citizens Bank Park and Vet Stadium before that,
all right.
I'll never forget it, man. I mean, it's just... Wow. I mean, 2008. Let's just go right to that number one thing.
We'll get into that in a second, but your thoughts on this Phillies team, is it too much too soon? Is it
I'll tell you what,
too soon?
I'm a little nervous, to be honest with you. They're coming out I'm going to be dead serious with you. I'm nervous because I feel like that they're going to run into a road here where things are going to start to decline. You know, it's a long season. It's a 162-game grind. You know what I mean? And you got to remember that in the back of your head as much as it's.
But don't you feel like this team's equipped for it, Michael? Don't you feel like there's enough veterans here? If this was a young team that hit that wall, there might be a little of that panic. This is a veteran team that knows you're going to have the highs and lows.
But by the numbers, look at Nick. He's kind of like one of those players that kind of, you know,
hot and cold.
Hot and cold. Then you look at the pitching, and like the starting pitching just kind of, I get a little nervous about that starting pitching. Like I'm saying, can Aaron Nola stay consistent? I've seen, and then you go further into the rotation. Ranger, I love Ranger. I'm a big fan of Ranger.
Pitcher of the month in April.
Yeah, and the thing is, can Turnbull stay the guy that he's been? He's been amazing.
You know, you truly have been in Philadelphia too long. You truly are living
negative.
It's the narrative, though. Look how many times we had our heart set. Last year, the Eagles, I watched a clip of one of my old appearances here, and I said, the Eagles are a lock to win this thing. And look what happened.
Yeah, you can't
we had our
get
hearts
positive.
broken completely.
It's true.
Out.
It's true. You have to be cautious when you're optimistic.
Cautiously
162,
optimistic.
like I say, that's the key factor when it comes to the Phillies.
It's not even 162. It's get in October and then turn it over to guys
That's
that know
true,
how to
though,
win.
right? There's been some years where the team in September was not hot, and then all of a sudden
Correct.
they heated up. But remember, I was there in NLCS Game 6 and 7, and I had my heart torn out. I was devastated in Game 7. I remember having a conversation with John Middleton saying, please get rid of the manager. Honestly, I'm not a fan of Topper. I like Girardi, honestly. I think they should have gave Girardi a longer tenure. Yes, I believe Joe Girardi. I remember when he was with the Marlins. I'm going to be serious.
I
remember
right
those
now.
days, though. I
Security.
love Joe Girardi.
I am troubled right
Security,
now.
come
And
get
you
him.
are pure Philadelphia. You got that Chicago wannabe and Joe Girardi, a New York Yankee manager. You want him back?
Oh man, he was asleep at the
Michael.
wheel.
But the roster he had back when he was here.
So you don't like Topper?
I'm not a fan of Topper. I honestly, if you told me to put everything on the line, I would say, guess what? I don't believe Topper's going to win a World Series. I hate to say it, but I want to be realistic with everybody. I want to tell you from the heart, as a lifelong Phillies fan, I've seen too much of this stuff down the road before.
Is he the Doc Rivers in the Phillies dugout?
Oh, no way.
No. He's not a Doc Rivers, because Doc Rivers was a totally different thing. We'd be here all night if we talked about Doc
I don't
Rivers.
blame Topper at all for Game 6 and 7. It is not on top. I've heard a lot of people blame Topper for those two games, and they couldn't hit. Topper didn't have a bat. Last time I checked, he didn't go to the plate. So their bats went silent, but I'm not over Game 6 and 7 yet, and I won't be over it until this October.
This October.
Right, let's see what they do in October. Yep. Right now doesn't matter, honestly. Just getting there. That's it. Like you say, Tom, you made a great point. Getting to October is the key in baseball. Once you get there, anything could happen.
But we're enjoying. Isn't being a fan about enjoying the journey and the ride?
Enjoy the ride, and it's part of the subject tonight of our Go Vote question that we've asked you guys this evening. Are you concerned, Michael included, are you concerned the Phillies are peaking too early? The vast majority say no. They're with me. Kind of enjoy the ride. Enjoy Rob Thompson. Take it easy on yourself, Michael. Enjoy Rob Thompson.
I'm a serious sports guy, though. When it comes to my Phillies, it's my first love. I've been a fan way too long with the Phillies.
Baseball is such a weird game, though. The tide can turn like that. Suddenly, you lose 5 straight, and
good point.
That's what we're hoping doesn't happen here. Let's go to the fan cam.
Let's talk about the Phillies. They have a big injury returner being out for a while. That hasn't slowed them down yet because the Phillies are still on fire.
I'd love to see us at the top of the heap. I have no doubts that we have not reached our peak. Winning!
I don't think they're peaking too early. I'd rather them have a big lead, go into the late season, come out with first place so we can have the bye and home field advantage. Get as big as lead as you can on Atlanta because you know they're coming.
I don't know they're coming. I mean,
you don't know if Atlanta's coming?
They're coming. We know it. We know it as Phillies fans.
And let me go back here real quick with Rob Thompson. I don't think he gets enough credit. Like Alec Boehm's hit streak ended last night, so he gave Alec the night off. What does Cody Clemens do? Cody Clemens plays third base and drives in 4 runs tonight.
This kid's special. This kid is special, no doubt about it.
He gives the day off, and Real Muto is back in that 2-hole tomorrow. He put JT in the 2-hole. JT has hit there. So far, so good. When you see Clemens, and if he gets regular bats, the problem's going to be, how do I get regular at-bats for Whit Merrifield? How do I get regular at-bats for Cody Clemens? How do I make sure everybody is, quote-unquote, working that lather and getting enough ABs?
Exactly.
It's a long season, and injuries happen, and these guys are going to get at-bats. Cody Clemens has made the most of every opportunity he's had. I'd like to see him get more. I think we're going to see. I think we're already seeing Whit Merrifield sort of break out of it too.
That was my guy, Whit Merrifield. I remember I did a fan cam when we first got him, saying he's the key because you need somebody to hit against lefties. Remember they were having problems last year against lefties. Boom, Whit comes into town. We got a guy who can handle lefties.
Grizz. Get on the fan cam.
There you
go. This team is almost as deep and as fun as the '93 team. We're going to talk about them next. 215-915-PHAN. Michael joining us after the break.
Down the right field line toward the pole. It is Todd Stottlemyre can't do anything to stop the bleeding.
Oh,
Remember
man.
Mel Stottlemyre?
Yeah. Now, Todd.
Mel's son.
Yeah, that's
Todd,
right.
Son.
We're going to talk about the 1993 World Series, and we're going to try not to talk about Joe Carter and Mitch Williams.
Who?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't bring them up.
Listen, I mean, that was a magical moment for the Vet. It was a magical moment for a team that meant so much to this city. Doesn't that team remind you a lot of this team?
Personality.
Yes.
Personality driven. And Michael joining us here from Port Richmond. And you did a lot of work at the Vet in the day.
Yes, I
You
did.
sold a few of those adult beverages along the way. And
there you are.
Look at that.
Yes.
Wait a second. Where's
There
the
it
hair?
is.
Where's
There
the
it is.
hair?
Yeah, I know.
So you were a beer man. What was your beer call?
Back at the Citizens Bank, I sold Miller Lite. At the Vet, I was more of a Coca-Cola guy. I moved into beer at the end. Budweiser, actually. There we go.
The
That's
pinnacle.
a little flashback. Yeah.
So Budweiser, cold
Memories. That was 2008
What
right
was your
there.
call?
Yo, Miller Lights on ice.
Yeah, I like that.
That was it.
Suddenly I'm parched.
I know. So, so that 93 Phillies team, it had leaders, it had characters, it had chemistry.
Uh-huh.
And wouldn't you say this, I mean, this team, even more than the 2008 team that won it all.
Different personalities,
Yeah.
but the same bond. There was a bond on that team that this team has, and they rode it all the way to Game 6 of the World Series. They were in last place in '92.
John
And then-
Kruk. That's
Is
the
that
name.
your guy?
That's the guy. You know why? He's entertaining as heck on the broadcast
Yeah.
with Tom McCarthy. Them two are just the best broadcasting
But he was
team
entertaining
in
as
baseball.
heck as a player.
Oh, yeah. No. The guy is a great personality.
Yeah.
John Kruk is a 100% personality
Yeah.
guy. The guy is just full of life. He brings great energy. John Kruk is the dude. I mean, if you want to talk about, the late, great Darren Dalton is the next
Yeah.
guy I want to bring up. Darren Dalton. I got to see that guy hand a $100 bill to a runner to hand it to a girl outside of Vet Stadium in 1997. I mean, the things from Darren Dalton that I seen, like I said, that right there. And Jim Eisenreich, what a special, unique guy he was. I mean, these guys were amazing. Your pitchers, Tommy Green, Kurt Schilling,
Mulholland.
Terry Mulholland, who threw a no-hitter at Vet Stadium
Yep,
the
against
night
the Giants.
the night that our radio station that covered the Phillies went off the air. Remember that?
And if you remember
in
that,
Philadelphia history,
You remember that period because Buddy Ryan's Eagles were done, but they were the first ones that kind of re-sparked the city, and then they were awful. There was such a connection with that +93 team because they were blue collar.
I was a high school
gritty,
kid,
and they were.
so I loved it. I was like a senior in
the dudes
high school.
walking
Yeah,
played these spit and chew. You look down in the outfield, and there's a ring of chew in the outfield.
It was amazing to
but
watch.
They the fan because they played hard.
yes,
All hard on the
Always.
field and off the field, and fans loved that.
They deserved it. They deserved it to win that thing. They came within one pitch of winning it. And we say we don't celebrate Lenny because he's out there these days, but he meant a lot to that team. I mean, he had a couple of big hits in that series. We just showed one of them. Kurt Schilling as well. Didn't he? He threw a shutout there in Game 5 of that series.
Kurt Schilling, it's funny. I just want to bring it up, let people know, like in the recent times, Kurt Schilling was on the internet broadcasting like the rest of us internet broadcasters. Yeah. I mean, seriously though, Schilling is such an interesting character these days. And people brought up the bloody sock incident.
Yeah.
I mean, you start looking at Kurt Schilling's history, man. We could be here all night talking about
one
it.
of the greatest World Series games pitched. The Phillies lost 15-14 in Game 4. You thought the series was over, and then Kurt Schilling throws an absolute gem in Game 5.
Alomar runs on a 3-2 pitch. It's strike 3 and a double play. Kind of pitch when I'm out there throwing. The swing seemed to be an afterthought. Line to center. Dykstra is there, and the Phillies win.
There is a little bit of Kurt Schilling in Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler. There is a bulldog
Zach
mentality
Wheeler,
on the mound.
Zach Wheeler 100%. Aaron Nola, in my opinion, he runs hot and cold. You don't know what you're going to get when Nola takes the hill. I trust Ranger Suarez more than Aaron Nola in a big game. If I'm managing, I'm giving the ball to Ranger before I give it to Nola. I was shocked by the contract,
to think he shut that team down that had some Hall of Famers on it. Paul Molitor, I think they had John Olerud, they had
Ricky
Alomar.
Henderson.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking, of course, Joe Carter. I mean,
Yep.
so, and what a play and tag right there. So, it just, and then to see that the Phillies beat them, tonight 8-1, 10-1, whatever it was.
It was and they had just come off a game that they blew a 6-run lead and lost 15-14.
And the important thing is we had Harry Callis calling that game. Just think about, Hall of Fame history in Philadelphia. Harry the K, the best.
We're heading to a break. Can you give us an H of K call to the break?
Here's the 3-2 pitch by Schilling. Swinging a drive, deep left field. Incaviglia back. He caught the ball at the warning track. Oh, my God.
There you go.
Yes.
The guy is, you know what, I can't top that. Would you read the phone number, please?
215-915-PHAN.
And tell people we'll be right back.
We'll be right back right here on the Phantastic Sports Show.
And welcome back.
Wow.
Well, Grizz is here, and boy,
I'm
this
fired
guy
up.
has brought more energy than any guest we've ever
Chatting
had.
up during the break here, chatting up, ready to get back into
What did you drink before you got here?
Nothing,
My God.
honestly. I you know what? I'm just full of energy. I'm a Philly guy. I
All
like
the
to
way.
bring it, and this is me. This is who I am, and I have plenty of people like out there that are watching tonight that will tell you this is who I am. Grizz, and
You
on
live and die
TikTok.
with Philly sports, then.
Yeah, on
As we get
TikTok,
down
I'm
to
Grizz.
stretch.
What is it, Grizz? Wait a minute. Grizz Show
That's
2024
it.
on TikTok.
Okay.
So people can check it out. You know what I
All
mean?
right.
We bring that energy.
Are you the same way, win or lose, after a tough Phillies game?
You know what? Right now, it doesn't matter. Like I said, I really honestly believe let's get to October as long as we're in it. You know what I mean? As long as we're in a playoff picture. And then with the 3 wild card teams, we don't have to worry about anything because we're going to be in. I mean, these other teams are terrible. I mean, look at the Mets, look at the Marlins.
there's no
They're all
competition.
terrible. There's nobody out there. The Padres with that trade to get the second baseman, you know.
Luis Ariz, yeah.
Luis Ariz from the Marlins. You know, you know.
Does anybody scare you in baseball right now for the Phils?
You know what? Looking down the road, honestly, I'm not going to hide this. The Dodgers are stacked.
Yeah.
They're stacked. And now, like I said, the
Ohtani's
Padres are. Padres are getting there, too. And you never know what Arizona's going to do after
Yeah,
last year. I mean,
I
that
know.
was a shock of a lifetime.
But are the Dodgers in the same conversation for the Braves in the standpoint of the last
Braves
two
don't
playoff
scare me.
runs, though? They
right.
have bowed out early.
Yeah.
They are not a team.
No.
They are a team built for the summer. They are
Exactly.
not necessarily a team that is built for October.
Yeah, their rotation, guys like Charlie Morton. We had him here in Philly for a little bit, too, didn't we? Yeah, we had Charlie Morton.
And now the Dodgers get
You know.
Buehler back, too, which can also...
They're choke artists in October, those Dodgers. And we know the Phillies are built for deep runs. They're not a one-and-done type team. They get in there and they make a run, except, losing Game 7 last year. But whatever. I think this team's ready. This is their year. This is our year.
You are fired up.
What's your all-time Philly sports moment that in your heart is just, the moment?
Oh, 2008, when Lidge throws that pitch, and we
more
are
than-
the real champions of baseball.
And where were you when it happened?
I was there, Citizens Bank Ballpark. I was
Wow.
working that night, and
Wow.
I got the chance to go to 117. There was one Stifler Ushler that would not let me down. That guy, he knew I worked there, and he would not let me down to the front row until it was all over.
Oh.
So I watched from like row 16 and
But you were
117. Oh. That was the only time in life that mattered. I was here in '93 for Game 6 when we beat Atlanta 2 to go to the World Series. I was not there in the World Series in '93 because I was only 17. I couldn't afford it, things like that.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many great Phillies memories. That,
So
like,
more
I mean,
than the 20,
yeah.
it's more than the Super Bowl. It's that 2008 World
Oh
Series.
yeah. I'm a baseball lifer.
Okay.
Yeah, I played baseball. But I lived and breathed baseball. I used to read books in grade school about the game to understand it. I mean,
So-
yeah, I'm the baseball guy. I really, honestly, that's me. I'm Mr. Philly, and I love my Phillies. That's bottom line. Is I do love this team, and I want to say it.
Who was your most underappreciated, undervalued Philly of all time?
Glenn Wilson, Glenbo.
Glenbo.
Yeah, I'm going back to childhood. You know what? The guy's a nice dude too. I mean, it's on a personal level. Glenbo has been nice to me. I got a chance to interview him back in the day. So yeah, Glenbo's my favorite. I love Glenn Wilson.
What about your all-time heartbreak? All-time Philly sports heartbreaking moment? Because there's been so many of them.
Yeah, there's.
Is it last year? Is it Game 7 last year?
You know what?
Because I was.
Yeah, I'm
sad.
with you. No, I was devastated. I honestly. I was able to get down to row 1 by the dugout, and I said to them, boys, you really disappointed me, and it was
told
ugly.
them that?
I went right to the dugout and screamed in there like, you guys, I'll see you in the spring. Good job.
Did anyone respond?
No. They were all. You could tell. Stott had his head down, him and Marsh were there. They could clearly hear me.
But Jason, too, you were at spring training, and you kind of felt that was fuel.
It was fuel.
Well, that's what I was saying too. That was the other thing I was saying today is that I felt like people on Twitter were talking about this, and I said to them, look, bottom line is I feel like this team has some drive right now. Like, that explains why they're playing so great, because they came out of that Game 7 gut-wrenched, and now they're bringing it 100%. All cylinders. Everybody's just their team
Let's
now
hope
playing.
the Eagles do that now next year. But I mean, this is a team. I don't think we should say just talk to me in October. I think we should enjoy this season.
Yep.
How many Aprils have been lackluster for these Phillies? Let's enjoy this season. This is a 100 win division-winning team.
And it's a fun team.
Keyword is without injuries, though, because remember, we know as fans.
They're deep enough to withstand it. I mean,
you know what? I don't know if Clemens could do it on the long haul, though. He might do it on the short term, but like I just don't know. It's just it's going to be a tough run, guys.
Grizz, great job, man.
Well, thank you,
great
buddy.
job.
Thank you.
215-915-PHAN. Send us fan cams. Co-host with us. That's next. Welcome back to the Phantastic Sports Show. Let's get back to our go vote. Too much too soon. Peaking too early. Are these fills or not?
Checking it out in the end zone as we try to recover from Michael, the tornado that blew through
his seat is still smoking.
It's on fire. Yeah. Most of you say, no, you should not be concerned. I'm with you folks tonight.
You're saying no. I say I'm cautiously optimistic. I think you're right, though. This team is professional enough, experienced enough to withstand this. They're not doing it with smoke and mirrors. They're doing it with their talent and pitching. It's sustainable.
Aaron Nola on the mound tomorrow. Phil's look for 8 in a row. We'll see you tomorrow night.